This meeting is being recorded.
Hi and welcome to the Top Talent Family Festival Part 2 on a Saturday. This is something we're doing every week now between 12 and 2 p.m. UK time and 4 and 6. Coming up first, we've got Mr. Bert Fenber from Germany. Hi Bert, how are you, brother?
Hi there, fine, just fine. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to see that happy smiling face. So Bert, for anyone who doesn't know you, what type of music do you do, Bert? And then I'll ask you about your song Shadow Man.
Yes.
So who is Bert Fenber?
Well, I'm just doing, I would say, pop rock music. I call it Euro-American pop rock music because I'm living here in Germany, but have spent years in the United States and also in Paris. So it's a mixture of European and American pop rock. That's what I'm doing. So
what's the story behind Shadow Man? Why did you write that song, Bert?
I feared that you would ask me this. Well, this is a very personal song indeed. I mean, as a singer-songwriter, I always do very personal songs. Everything I compose comes from out of me, of course. So yes, I will not go into the depths with this song, but this is a story. Yes, it's about me. Yes, it's about love. Yes, it's about a story, well, which was limited by conditions, let's put it that way, and not by emotions. It took about 2 years, and it went deep, let's put it that way. And the story to it is, one night I dreamt, it never happened really, this is not a telltale from a singer-songwriter. One night I dreamt a tune, a melody. I woke up in the morning and it stayed. Then at mid-time, I still had this tune, and it was the tune of Shadow Man. So at noon, I sat down and started to compose it, the first things on the guitar. So really, I dreamed this song.
Dude, you're not the only person to get his songs out of dreams. Elton John does it all the time. He wakes up for a drink of water and he goes, oh, right, sacrifice, you know. So yeah, man, Bert, you're a very special guy. Kirsty and I love you. You're a gentleman at the highest level. If you don't know Bert Fenber, you're going to love him. His song Shadow Man, fantastic. Let's get acquainted with Bert Fenber if you don't know him already. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm at your side, and I'm not at your side, 'cause I have to hide in your light. We talk on the phone endless hours at night, while I'm fighting with my pride. I feel like a gift resting high on a shelf, only touched way beyond daylight. Telling the story again to myself and asking for some light. I'm a shadow man, have to hide myself, feel like in a band, My love is so long and your time for me short. Emotions are running so fast. We snatch us a walk and visit my bed, while time is an ocean with a shore. You leave in the night, going back to a home, and then I'm lying alone. I look for a thread that I might see a way for tomorrow and today. I'm a shadow man, have to hide myself, feel like in a band, I'm dreaming of the time when we will walk side by side. I'm a shadow man, have to hide myself, feel like in a band, in a band. I'm a shadow man, have to hide myself, feel like in a band, in a band.
Bert Fenber, everyone. Bert Fenber.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful, Bert. And in between the artists, if anyone wants to leave a quick compliment, just unmute yourself. So that's the kind of clue that you want to actually say something. That was, I love it, I love it, I love it. Let's start on the top and work our way down. Now let's start on the bottom and work our way up. Eddie Barber, what was your thoughts on that, Eddie? What was your thoughts?
Well,
on
it's
Bert?
nice. It's nice to be at the bottom. Anyway, gotta make them laugh. You know, it's kind of funny because if you make them laugh, you're gonna get the money or win the honey. Anyway, okay, so I can't sing, as you can tell, so I can applaud, but I gotta say it's a little different watching videos on a podcast because they're a bit steppy, so it's really hard to tell what's going on.
Yes.
And I'm kind of I like movement. So if you look at any of my videos, I love camera movement. I'm not a big fan of the static thing. I'm a big fan of the camera moves. And it was hard to tell because it was so steppy on the podcast, but I'm sure it was awesome. I'm sure it was better than anything I could ever do as a singer type person. I'm a closet singer.
Do you know,
or a shower singer.
Sometimes people say that the signal's bad their end, but it's crystal clear here when we make the articles. So in the actual article we make for Bet, it'll be, you'll be able to watch it like you're watching YouTube. So it'll be, but yeah, good point there, Eddie. A lot of people notice that. So we've got Renita would like to say something. Renita from Canada, people come.
Hey, hi from Canada.
Hey, what was your thoughts? What was your thoughts on Bert's song there? I know you heard the second half of it.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm just it's early. Well, it's 9 o'clock here, so that's why I got the sunglasses on. No shower, no nothing.
You must be in mountain time then. But welcome to the show. Fate will come. So Mark Story, Miles would like to say something. Mark, then Miles.
Hi, yeah, that was really good. It had a kind of a Tom Petty feel to it. Bit Tom Petty, bit Bob Dylan. Very catchy chorus. The thing with the stepping of the videos, I mean, yeah, that happens, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? But the videos still cut through for me. It's good. You can kind of piece it together in your mind. So yeah, well done.
Everyone comes off of these shows like new friends and stuff like that. You know, I done an extra show today, and this is an everyday thing going forward. Miles, what was your thoughts on the song there, Miles?
Sounded great to me. Had to leave the room for a few minutes, so I didn't hear all of it, but what I did hear was really nice.
Thank you.
Well said, Miles. Well said. So we've got Glenn and David, then we're on to our second guest, Eddie. So Glenn, what was your thoughts here? Glenn?
Yeah, Bert really liked it. You kind of got to suspend the viewing because of the stepping, but I think we're all used to that. But the video was great too. I really liked the locations. I love the guitar tone in the solo. And the solo was really, really tasteful. It's seemed like you mentioned, very deep song, a lot of pain there. That's what I'm picking up. So, but a lot of beauty too. So, really well done. I thought it was pretty wonderful. So, yeah, really well done. And I just subscribed to your YouTube channel, buddy. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's the main thing we stand for. You're making friendship, and everyone comes off the podcast with new friends every time. David, what's your thoughts before we get to the surprise guest tonight? Everyone in this room tonight, Eddie's in a music family, and you're the special guest tonight. Everybody else is in the Top Talent music family, and you're the special guest coming up next. So, David, what was your thoughts first of all on that track there? Then we'll get to the main man.
Yeah.
David.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. What was your thoughts on Bert's song there? Did you enjoy?
I quite enjoyed it, although I have to say my favorite style is not like country music, and I felt there was a definite country air to that. But he did it extremely well. I loved the chorus as well, and even the video sort of fitted into place. And I agree with the previous speaker that, yeah, there was a touch of sadness in it somewhere, and it was a genuine sadness from the composer. Well done.
Thank you.
Well said, everyone. Bert Fenber, thanks for coming back to the show. And until the next time, one love, dude. Hope we can hang around as long as you can.
Yes, of
Bert
course.
Fenber, everybody. On to the next guest, Mr. Eddie Barber from LA. Hi, Eddie. How are you? Could you introduce yourself? I'm so sorry. Daniel Defier never got to actually comment there and he wanted to. Daniel, what was your thoughts on Bert's song? I only missed you, I'm sorry.
I honestly love the chord progression, the style itself. Solo is amazing. I kind of got like a country blues kind of feel. Mix is fantastic. So good job, man.
Thank you.
Well said, Daniel. Thank you. So again, thank you, Bert. Until the next time, dude. I felt ignorant leaving Daniel out with a mistake there. Bert Fenber. Coming up next is Eddie Barber, and I'm not going to spoil anything. I've teased people who you are in the groups, and you can introduce yourself. Who is Eddie Barber in the music industry?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Gosh, that's kind of a loaded question because I can't really play any music unless it's on the radio, and the radio has presets, and the presets are all preset. But I seem to be pretty good at shooting videos for people. I've shot about 400 music videos. I've directed videos for people like, and I'm gonna read from a list because I'm getting old and the memory's not as good as it used to be. But I've directed videos for Michael Jackson, Madonna, the Beach Boys, Warrant, David Foster and Olivia Newton-John, Mary Wilson, The Movement, Miranda, Tiffany, Brad Hawkins, Greg Adams, Rad. By the way, Rad was big fun because over the course of about 2 months, it was like shooting a whole bunch of videos all at once because, or spread out over a couple of months because we had a studio that we booked for a couple of months and we brought in artists whenever they were available. And we had everyone from Paul McCartney, Phil Collins, Travis Trent, Trisha Yearwood, Melissa Etheridge, Clarence Clemens, Ringo Starr, Julian Lennon, David Hasselhoff, Miss America. I mean, all kinds of people. And that's the one time that I got to record a single with nearly 3/4 of the Beatles because the final day of shooting, yes, the Beatles, like it says backwards on your shirt. Yeah, the backwards Beatles. Anyway,
I'm going to sort that.
The last day of shooting, we were shooting at the Roxbury on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. And the sound engineer came up to me and said, we're having a problem with the sound. We're getting a hum from the generator. The generator that we used to run the lights and all the equipment was creating a hum in the soundtrack. And it was the final beep, 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 yeah, at the end of the song. And he told me he would try to EQ it in the studio. But when we got back to the studio, he told me he was unable to EQ it out. And he asked me if my video crew and I could, sing the final beep, 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 yeah, at the end of the song. And I said, sure. So we did it. And that's how I once got to record a single with nearly 3/4 of the Beatles. And it premiered on the American Music Awards. It was introduced by Kenny Rogers.
Oh, brilliant. The Gambler. Everybody loves the Gambler, eh? Like,
yeah, so
Kenny Rogers is a legend.
So that's the one time I got to record, and it was with nearly 3/4 of the Beatles.
Wow, look, you're very, very, very honored to have you here. What's this? Who's involved in the song "The Movement" that we're going to feature here? Who's all in that except The Movement?
That's my good friend Hayes. The Movement, which had a #1 single back in the day. It was 3 gentlemen. It was Hayes, AJ, and Humpty. And it was an interesting project because it was a project that the management and the artists wanted me to do the video, and the label seemed to want anybody out of New York, anybody but me to do it. And we went round and round with the label for the better part of a month. They first told me the budget was $30,000. So did a concept and a budget for 30,000. Then they said it was too much, redo one for 25, and then 20, and then 15. And after, you know, this period of time of not having success with getting the label on board, I finally told the management, I said, look, forget the label. Let's just do the video. I'll pay for the video. The song was already on the radio. It was already, you know, becoming a hit, and the label was just being difficult. So after they said, okay, then I kind of like backed up a little and said, could you kick in like $1,000 just to help, you know, pay some of the expenses? And they said, sure. So we did the shoot. It went really, really well. For example, we put on a free concert. We got a big radio station, Power 106, to basically do an announcement. The deal was, we'll use your Power 106 big bus in the video. And, you know, if you'll do an announcement that we're doing this concert. So we got, you know, thousands of people to show up. We did a video. After we finished the video and the management saw the footage, they loved it. Then I said, well, could you kick in another grand to help pay for the edit? They said, sure. I told them if we sold the video, I'd pay them back double. So we did the video in about 6 days. We sent it to Arista overnight. They got it the next morning. They, you know, Scott Spanjek, the head of video, saw it. Clive Davis, the head of the label, saw it. They called me up. They said, we just saw the video. We love the video. How soon can we get the D2 master? And I said, how soon can you wire $30,000 into my account? And they said, well, we thought the last budget we did was 15. And I said, but that's when you were going to hire me. We did this. We paid for this. If you want it, you can buy it. They bought it. It went into heavy rotation on MTV.
Wow, this version of it's got 750,000 hits, the one we found on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get acquainted with your one of the many projects you've done in your career. You're an absolute legend in the music scene, and yeah, the people you've shook hands with, they're all our heroes, man. So Eddie Barber and his involvement in the song "The Movement," the jump. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant, dude. Can I just say, is it 7 times you've won an Emmy Award now? Is it 7 times, Eddie?
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of living proof that they'll give these gold things to just about anybody, these things.
Oh, wow,
but you got to be careful. These things are dangerous. They're quite pointed.
Well, I can't believe it, 7-time Emmy Award winner. So I've asked you all to unmute if you are wanting to. We'll start at the top this time. Let's go Glenn, then Bert. Glenn, what was your thoughts here, dude?
Oh yeah. Wow, that definitely looked like a party. And it looked like $30,000 worth of editing too. a lot of editing there. I love the use of black and white, different textures and different looks on that you went for. It was a trip. So yeah, I really liked it. I can see why it's got so many views. Yeah, really great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr. Fenber, Bert, Germany.
Well, yeah, nice. I was hardly keeping down here on my chair. I wanted to jump up all the time. No, it really goes into the bones. No, really. I mean, it's a nice thing, and definitely more movement of the camera than in mine. No, yeah, nice.
That's a good cameraman. You can tell you were everywhere. Brilliant cameraman work.
Thank you.
David, then our next guest, Danny, then Mark. David Roper.
Hello there.
Hi.
What was your thoughts here in the song, David? What was your thoughts?
I loved the beat, and I
so
loved the video because it looked really like everybody was enjoying it, and it was a great dance music. I think that was excellent. Love that.
Thank you.
Well said. Danny Horowitz, Toronto. What's your thoughts here, Danny boy?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm certain that I've heard that song before, so it was definitely familiar to me. And that music video was crazy. It's like the single, like, most 90s thing or early 90s thing I've like ever seen. Eddie, I don't know if you're just like part of the team that made that 90s look the way it did, but from the fish eyeball to the techno colors to the swirling around, like everyone's talking about how much energy there was in that video, and it is very quintessentially 90s, exactly what what was going on at that time. It's like a time capsule, like your finger was on the pulse of the culture.
Thank you.
Well said, well said. Mark Story, aka the Redbeard, Marky boy.
Hello. Yeah, I mean the video, it perfectly captured the energy of that song. There's no two ways about it. It's fast moving. Video was awesome. Music, I love that bit in the middle when it just winds down and it kind of lulls you into a full sense of security, and then boom, it's back in again. But yeah, very, 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 very top dollar. Yeah, very good.
Miles, then Daniel, Miles.
Sounded great to me. My feet were stomping up and down. I love the video. Just loved it.
Thank you.
You two can't be very far away from each other. The same with G for the Pilot of the Moon. You can't be too far away, even in California. Daniel, then Chris and So with their French interpreter. Daniel.
Yeah, honestly love the video production, and yeah, no, keep doing what you're doing.
I'm trying. If any of you ever need a video, I'm here.
Hey, that's the most amazing thing I've heard in a long time. Honestly, wow. Chris and So, then Michael Wilford, one of the amazing, talented young man. Right to hear Michael. Chris and So, amazing as well. What's your thoughts in French? You have a translator today again. Hi there.
Yes, hello. We absolutely love the colors. The rhythm was very catchy, very hip hop, and we really wanted to dance. And yes, it was a very good music.
Yes, very good. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Michael, then Renita and Fate Will Come. Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything's already been said, but it's a great video. The song's a party and the video's a party. I loved the energy. You're right about the camera movements. There's a lot of movement going on. And I liked the part in the middle where the song starts speeding up, but you're just kind of focused on these changing colors as opposed to the crowd. And then when we get back in, everybody starts jumping again. And I thought that was really cool. I don't know, idea to pull away from the focus and then bring it back as the song is doing sort of the same thing.
Well
Thank
said,
you.
well said. Eddie, what I'll do is I'll send you a playlist of all the artists, like privately, so you can see who they all are, and maybe talk about trying to make a video with whoever's able in that position. Renita, what's your thoughts there? Oh, Renita just went away. Can you hear us, Renita? And then
yeah,
hi,
I'm
Renita.
here. Hold on here. See what happened here.
The camera's off. That's you back. Yeah. What
Okay,
was your
I'm
thoughts?
back. Yes, it was wonderful. It's a party at 9 o'clock in Canada. 9 o'clock in the morning. It was awesome. Energy, life. That's what music's all about. Great production.
Well said. Well, I think everyone's just starstruck to have you here. Who you've mingled with in your life and your career. It's and you're such a down to earth, funny character. You're not one of these people that you'd imagine people that work with Michael Jackson and think they're better than everyone. You're just running the mill, normal guy. Everyone can see that's amazing. So G and then Kirsty, who actually found you, Eddie. G from Pilot the Moon. What's your thoughts there, brother?
Yeah, it was definitely a trip down memory lane when things were a little bit more simpler. But yeah, definitely a party. Got you going. I loved it.
Well said. Well said. So Kirsty, and then we're on to the next guest, Danny Horowitz. Kirsty, what's your thoughts here?
Hi, Eddie. So lovely to have you on the show. So thank you very much.
Hi, Kirsty.
You've got such an incredible, hey, like me.
Yeah, some people change their
God, you've been
wardrobe.
hiding that, haven't you, Eddie?
I don't have much wardrobe, so I just kind of change my look every now and then.
Absolutely brilliant. What's your name? Garth out of Wayne's World. With your hair like that. Yeah, man, that's it. Brilliant. Eddie Barber, everyone. Eddie, we'll talk to you in and out of the show all night because you're the star. Danny Horowitz up next and he's in a slight bit of a rush. So, Eddie Barber, until Photo Place is the first of many, dude, make this show your home. Come here 5 times a week. We're doing it now. So, you're more than welcome to pop in any other shows. Eddie Barber. Coming up next from Toronto, Danny. Oh, your pleasure, man. Pleasure. Danny Horowitz. Could you introduce yourself? Who is Danny Horowitz? What type of music do you do?
Danny Thank you so much for having me. Danny Horvitz, that's me. I'm a singer-songwriter from Toronto, Canada. So I know I'm not the only Canadian on here. And yeah, I don't have any cool music videos. I just make lyric videos because I take all my money and I put it into the music. Like Bert, I consider my style to be pop rock. I just love melodies and harmonies and songs that are, you know, you can kind of whistle. The song that I'm going to put on today is kind of a sad one. I normally just write songs about, you know, relationships or the philosophy. But for those of you who aren't too familiar with what happened in Canada over the last couple of years, there were these horrible revelations that they found the mass graves of these children who were put in residential schools, these Indigenous children. And I'm not someone who like is like super well educated on the topic, but I just, like the rest of the country, was really moved, and I wrote a song, just kind of an emotional response to it. And yesterday happened to be the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada, so I'm honored that you play the song, Sparky, and thank you for letting me introduce myself. I hope you enjoy the song, and more than any other song I've written, it's probably a moment of, you know, reflection.
Well, the song is called Downward Into the Dark, and Danny Horowitz is a professional of the highest order. Sit back, if you don't know Danny Horowitz, enjoy Downward Into the Dark by the man himself, Danny Horowitz. Well, let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
A thousand bodies buried shallow, never deep, found in the ruins of a playground makes you weep. 1,000 pairs of parents forced to sow what others reap, while the holy and the faithful lose no sleep. All our days are numbered, but all of theirs were cold. Made to live a lie, made to do what they were told. Never to be freed, their lives were all controlled. Stolen from their families, never to grow old. Teachers grew fatter, claiming to save their tiny souls. No, darling, just matter. God isn't flattered if you're finding tiny bones in your backyard. Oh, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Oh, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy
Danny Horowitz, everyone. Absolutely magnificent, bro. Danny, I'll get the first question in. What's next for you? What projects are you working on at the moment?
So that was the first single of 10 songs that I recorded earlier this year. I have a new song coming out this Friday. Downward Into the Dark is obviously a very dark song. And of the 10 songs, 4 songs make an EP of like an emotional journey from dark to light. That's the darkest song. The one coming out next Friday is called Morning Light, and it's going to be a lot brighter. It's going to be more folkier. And it's just much love there. So I've got lots of music on the way. I'm working with my producer, Calvin Hartwick from Dreamhouse Studios in Toronto. We picked 10 more songs and we're going to record this January. So just tons and tons of stuff on the way. I'm trying to like just create as much as I can.
Make sure you get
Put it
back
out
on
there.
as many of these shows as possible, Danny. As I said, there's going to be 5 a week now. So yeah, let's start from the bottom this time from anyone who's unmuted herself. We'll go Renita, then G, then Eddie. Renita, what's your thoughts on Danny's song there?
It's a beautiful song, and I mean, I live in Canada, so I know all about the residential school and what happened to, you know, the native people here, and it's like it's gorgeous. It hits exactly what happened. You know, I will say really quickly, yeah, it proves that, you know, how religion can be twisted, and I mean, those children got taken away from their families, and I mean, it's horrible. It's a beautiful song, and it's, what else can you say? It means a lot. It's gorgeous, and I will share it. I'll go to your site, and I will definitely share it on YouTube and Facebook.
Well said, well said. And especially having the Lord's Prayer in it, that's just special, Danny. That's beautiful, honestly. G, and then Eddie, you're actually muted, Danny, for your replying. G, and then Eddie, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely a beautiful song that tells the story, and the chorus kicked in. It really got the hairs going on my arms, you know. It's well done. Thank you.
Well said. Same here, by the way. Eddie, Mr. Barber?
Danny, oh my gosh, the song, the story, even the video, I really like the style of the words. You know, it's like you didn't have to go shoot anything. You did it all in post. It was an amazing piece. It was quite, you know, like you said, it was dark, but it was still beautiful all the same, and very, very touching. Very, yeah.
Come on, let's go. I'll detail that. G's still muted there. You're talking. It's all right. I'm absolutely back you up on that, Eddie. There's so many genocides happened in the history, and for some reason you don't hear about it. And it's very saddening to even think about it, isn't it? But it happens all the time, and through history, I hate it. Anyway, I'm sorry. Chris, Michael, our next guest, and then Chris and so. Michael, what's your thoughts here, Michael?
Yeah, it's a very sobering topic, of course, and I like that you kind of just said it directly. You didn't really bounce around the point. You pointed some fingers and you called out some names, and yeah, I appreciated that. Also, structure-wise, it was interesting to put the guitar solo at the end of the second verse, where I was expecting you to go to the chorus, and then that led to this big payoff, because I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh, but didn't we hear the chorus earlier? Is it coming back? And then when we hit the chorus again, it was there was a nice payoff there. So I thought that was a good move too.
Well said, Michael. Chris and so again in France.
Yes.
Yes. We really loved the engagement of your song, and it's tragic what happened. The fact that you can talk about it is great. We really can feel the music with all our heart, and really it's a wonderful song.
Wonderful song. Thanks a lot.
Beautifully said. Well, I'm working my way up. Kirsty, then Daniel. Kirsty?
Hi, hey Danny. That's one of the main reasons I love this show, because it makes such a difference knowing why people wrote a song, the reason behind it. So knowing that before hearing it just made it so much more powerful. So yeah, no, brilliant track, brilliant. I've heard it a number of times now, and it grows on me more and more each time I listen to it. It's brilliant, Danny.
Well said, Kirsty. So Daniel, then Miles.
Yeah, I love the structure, and I love the inspiration. Making your album going from dark to light and having a story behind it. Can you tell me a little bit more about like how you came to write this album of yours? Because it's very honestly interesting how you came up with the concept.
So first of all, with my producer, I've got a bunch of songs I've written over the course of a year and in my back catalog, and we pick what we think are the 10 best songs. Then once the songs are kind of recorded, we look and we see what we've got. And originally I was just going to have one album. I noticed that there were these 4 songs in particular that made a nice sweeping arc, I think, emotionally. And 3 of those songs are the songs that I happen to put the strings on. You'll notice the cellos and violins in this song, and the other 2 as well. So each song kind of gets progressively lighter, and then finally Morning Light is and it'll come out next Friday. Very different, very folky, very bright. And I just felt that these 4 songs stood apart, more pop rock, adult contemporary kind of music. And the other 6 songs just had a much more of a traditional rock, maybe instead of pop rock, rock pop vibe to them. A lot of, more. So they just seem to fit very, very well together that way. But I didn't know what I had until after everything was kind of in the can. I will say that for this song, when writing it in particular, there's a line from Friedrich Nietzsche in something that he wrote where he talks about religion, and he talks about mankind's relationship to the religion, and he says that mankind is like a tree. The higher we stretch upwards towards the heaven, the deeper our roots grow downward into the dark. And I thought that was so poignant, because this particular tragedy came out of people who in their minds thought that they were doing probably a good thing, and it just led to absolute monstrosity. And so when you think about how I created the album Emotional Arc, it's here's the worst of humanity, and now can we show a little bit how life is a little worth living. Just you got this, and then it's a little bit better, and then there's a beauty to the world. But I didn't know what I had until, like I said, until it was all recorded.
I love it. I love the idea, man. Yeah, it's good. Loved it.
Great question, Daniel. Miles, then Mark Story. Miles.
Beautiful melody, loved it. By the way, I grew up in Toronto.
Daniel both from Toronto, by the way. Sorry, there you go, Miles.
Pardon me?
I said, sorry, I was just saying Daniel and Danny are both from Toronto, in case they didn't know. But yeah, Miles, sorry, continue, dude. That was rude of me. Sorry.
Yeah, I really liked it. Very much. Great production, too.
Well said, well said. So we've got Mark's Story, then David Roper. Mark?
Right, yeah, that was a very emotional song about a very emotional subject, handled very well. The lyrics were direct, but not corny. And apart from being entertaining, it was educational as well. So well done, well done.
Well said, well said. So David, Bert, and then Glenn, and that's this section done. So David Roper, what's your thoughts here, dude?
Well, I really enjoyed the music and I found it very emotional. However, it was so sad, I actually felt slightly down at the end of it, because I'd not heard about this reality in life. And when you hear something like that, it tends to upset me a bit. But I thought the song was very, very, very well produced, and I loved it.
Dito, well said, David. So Bert Fenburn, Germany, then Crash World in Vancouver. Bert?
Well, here it was on the media, on the German media. They covered it quite a bit. This kind of happening in Canada, and I'm informed about it. So the song really comes close to the style I do. I mean, the style of music I do. So it's very powerful. The guitars really put over the whole pain and power. And what I thought when I watched the video is, I myself, to tell you the truth, find it very stressful after composing a song and then always have to do a video. So this time I thought, well, maybe I can just put some words in it next time with a little background. So this is an idea.
Absolutely. Well said, Bert. Well said. So Glenn over in Vancouver, Crash World, what was your thoughts here, Dave?
Oh yeah, you get a bit of an emotional response from me. I have ties to education too, so I know a lot about this. But like everyone, I have no answers. I thought the song was really amazing. The lyrics, as Mark said, when you tackle something like this, you don't go in lightly. The lyrics were not corny. I thought I'm glad you shared your the inspiration of the Nietzsche line, because that was really brilliant. That's as I say, as a songwriter, that's one of those moments maybe that you were like, oh yeah, this is it. Light bulb goes off. This is good. I'm onto something good. So yeah, really, really powerful. It gave me a little bit of, and not stylistically necessarily, but in the way that they sometimes can, Roger Waters and Nick Cave, the way that they can imply and touch on things directly, but in a very clever, classy, provoking manner. So really amazing.
Thank you.
What a great compliment. And it's a full house of Canadians, so it's a perfect night. And I can't wait to see the other parts of your EP. So Danny, pick a date once a week and get you back on here as often as possible. Danny, Horowitz, everyone.
Thank you.
Till the next
Thank you,
time,
everybody.
Danny. Are you going to stay around for a bit, or are you in a rush? Do you need to leave now?
I have to go, unfortunately, but thank you guys for listening, and thank you for hosting the show.
Pleasure, Danny. We'll see you again the next time. Danny Horowitz, everyone. Cheers, dude. Have a great day. Bye-bye. So coming up next is another amazing artist here, Michael Wilford. I'll let you introduce yourself, then I'll ask you about a certain song. Who is Michael Wilford?
Hi, yeah, I'm Michael Wilford. That's me. I'm a drummer and a songwriter based in Victoria in Canada. And yeah, it's kind of hard to follow up a song like Danny's, because my song's about being sad, but not quite in a, you know, that's a real sadness. That's something else.
The song is called Rattle My Bones. Why did you write that song? What's the story behind Rattle My Bones?
Yeah, so Rattle My Bones is kind of my pandemic song. When I was set to be touring all summer 2020, and we had a big festival lined up where we were playing with Wu-Tang Clan and bands like that. So it was going to be the biggest summer of my career. And then as March was coming around, we were showing up to venues, shows getting canceled the day of, stuff like that. And when everything finally shut down, I bought a car and just drove up to Smithers in northern BC and just ended up like living in a cabin for 9 months and just tried to get away from everything. And it was really hard to start writing songs over this period because I just didn't really, they weren't coming. So I drove back to Victoria, but left my girlfriend in Smithers and started working again in Victoria. And this was kind of my song. I was working in video production and shooting for like 12 hours a day, then going home and editing for like, you know, another 6 hours or something, and having like 4 hours to sleep and then do it again. So it was a long days. My girlfriend wasn't there. So I started writing these songs about just kind of feeling like I was haunted. And that was kind of where all my songs were going over the pandemic. And this is the one I recorded and released. And it's about being visited by a ghost, which is kind of your depression, your loneliness, those feelings.
Michael, you're a star. Your song Israel is one of my favorite songs in the world. I've not heard this. You just sent me to Rattle My Bones. Let's get it. Let's get it in. It's 1, 2, 3. Let's enjoy Michael Wilford, Rattle My Bones. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
The ghost towns, the highway home, they rattle my bones, I'm shaky in the brain. Sing strong, the radio's on, closing our eyes, forget the world has changed. Smoky skies, hazy eyes, the west coast in flames. But all I know, they rattle my bones, and I'm not sure what else to say. There's a ghost in my closet, he's trying to haunt me in a most peculiar way. There's a ghost in my closet, don't know what he wants, but I might just ask him to stay. It's a cloudy, cold night, the ghost is a nice surprise. I was just getting lonely again, but there's a ghost in my closet, he's trying to haunt me. He rattles my bones, he rattles my bones away. The boarded doors, the dead neon, the canceled plans, a gentle autumn rain. It's all good, all bad, a smoky hoax, a lazy runaway. Soft lips, sleeping eyes, in a bed so far away. Oh, what a fool, what a guy, and I'm not sure what else to say. There's a ghost in my closet, he's trying to haunt me in a most peculiar way. There's a ghost in my closet, don't know what he wants, but I might just ask him to stay. It's a cloudy, cold night, the ghost is a nice surprise. I was just getting lonely again, but there's a ghost in my closet, he's trying to haunt me. He rattles my bones, he rattles my bones away. been haunting me like my mind haunts the streets in my rearview. I've been haunting me, I'll take the chains, but I can't bear the truth. I've been haunting me like the eerie beat of a long dead tune. When I close my eyes, you know, I wish it was you, I wish it was you. There's a ghost in my closet, he's trying to haunt me in a most peculiar way. A ghost in my closet, I know what he wants, but he rattles my bones away. There's a ghost in my closet, he's trying to haunt me in a most peculiar way. There's a ghost in my closet, I know what he wants, but I might just ask him to stay. It's a cloudy, cold night, the ghost is a nice surprise. I was just getting lonely again, but there's a ghost in my closet, he's trying to haunt me. He rattles my bones away.
Michael Welford, everyone. Michael Welford. Michael, you know I love you, bro. Let's start at the top this time and work our way down. Glenn, then Bert, then David. Glenn?
Michael, really great. I really loved it. It reminded me of the compliment somebody gave to me that on a certain song that the verse was arguably more catchy than the chorus, and I mean that in the kindest way. But yeah, I love it kind of, to me, sometimes songs have kind of a nursery rhyme vibe, which I always think is a good sign, because if you can sing them that way to, to children or whatever, it would, that's the sign of something strong, I think, right? And I love the video too. It was, a lot of repetition in the lyric video, and I make lyric videos too, and always kind of struggle with that part of it. But this video was so captivating all the way through, with this kind of a cycle of imagery. So yeah, really thought it was great, and I love the cabin shot to sort of set it all up. Also loved the bridge, the way it kind of broke down. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Well said, Glenn. Always a wonderful comment. So it is. Bert, then David Roper. Bert?
Well, yes, again here, this video with the cartoon-like making, I like that. It's a different way of doing a video. I really like that. And even though you said that you seemed to be sad at the time and, rattled to your bones, but this song has a very happy drive. I kind of moved in my chair a little bit. So it's another proof that even though an artist maybe feels sad, the song and the piece of art maybe, has its own life. And that's what I felt when I listened to your song.
Well said.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if you kind of wallow in it, then you're kind of stuck. So you gotta point at it and then write its theme song and move on.
Yeah.
Well said, well said. David Roper, then Chris and so. David?
Yeah, what I liked about that very much was the idea of it. I mean, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling upset about something, and you come up with a dream of a ghost coming out as perhaps your only friend at that time. So in that sense, I loved it. It was very, very different. Thank you very much.
Thanks, David.
Well said, well said. Chris and so in France again?
Yes.
Well, hello. We just wanted to say that the animation is amazing. Did you make your animation, or is it somebody else? And we just wanted to add that it is a simple video, but it illustrates very well your mental state, and your voice is very comforting.
Thank you so much. The animation was done by my friend Kat Morris, who works for an amazing animation collective in Vancouver. And I can't remember what the collective's called, but Kat Morris, she's incredible. And she's a friend from high school. We grew up together, and she's doing this full time and is unbelievable. but a little expensive. So $600 only got me 3 animations. So that's the reason it's so loopy. And then the other thing is that's not my voice. I'm a drummer and a songwriter, but I'm not much of a singer. So my project is I write the songs, I produce the songs, but then each song I build a team around it to try and push it in the direction that I want it to go. So this song features my friend Sale Cassidy, and then each band on every song is different too. So this one I leaned on my friend Joshua Litton, who's like a Berkeley composer and plays, I think he can get on stage and perform 17 instruments. So he's playing the full string section, and he's doing the guitars, and he's doing a little bit of everything, singing the harmonies.
That's very, very good. You know, I've noticed that every one of your videos is a different, it's all different artists in it. So you're super connected, little guy, what you're doing. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mark, Story, Miles, then Daniel. Mark?
Yeah. The video was great. I love the animation bit of it. That's really cool. And it was good that the video didn't overshadow the music. It was a nice balance. I did really like the vocals, I've got to say. And I like the concept of the song, the fact it's like basically the ghost is the memory and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's brilliant. It was a really fresh twist on a well-known theme, you know.
Thank you.
Big love, detail that. Miles and Daniel.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I could really feel your pain. Just really, really good. Thank you.
Wow. Nice.
Cheers. Thank you.
Daniel, then Eddie. And welcome to the show, Rich Chambers. I know you never heard much of that song, but welcome, Rich. So Daniel, then Mr. Barber. Daniel?
Yeah, I love it. Very, very spooky vibe. Your voice is really good. Definitely different, but unique in its way.
Well said,
Cheers, thanks.
Eddie, and then G from Pilot the Moon, and then Renita, you're up next, so you go the last comment in this section. So, Mr. Barber, what's your thoughts?
Good job, Michael. It was very catchy. I very much enjoyed the song. I don't know about everybody putting words on the screen, like kind of cutting people like me out of the making videos business. But anyway, we like to shoot things. But anyway, I think we can all relate. I think we've all got ghosts in our closets, and you know, we kind of deal with them as best as we can. You know, they come out, we kind of like enjoy them a bit and shoo them away.
Yeah, well, and you know, we actually are working on the video for this song next week. Yeah, so there's a drag.
If you need somebody to shoot it.
Maybe for the next one. But I would love to work with you sometime.
That's if they can afford you, Eddie. I mean, you must charge top dollar if you done Michael Jackson's videos and the Beatles.
You'd be amazed. I've done music videos for like pretty decent, you know, to big budgets, and I've done video. I mean, I've gotten as much as 50 grand to do a video, and as little as $250. But you know, you do what you can with what you get.
Yeah, so you've got mates rates for the right deserved people. You've got mates rates for deserved people.
Yeah, I mean, I can't decide what somebody can afford to make a video, or what they're willing to invest in their video, or what their resources are. My job is basically to take whatever budget they give me and then do the best I can with that budget. People often ask me, what does it cost to make a music video? And it costs what you got, you know, what you can afford to put into it.
Exactly. Well said, dude. Well said. So G from Pilot the Moon, then Renita over in Canada, Fate Will Come as well. G?
Yeah, no, clever lyrics, the animation, even though you're going to be making a video, the animation was wonderful. Production was great. I mean, I don't think you could have done a better job. It's well done, put together great. You can tell you know what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Well said, he definitely does. Fate Will Come, Renita, what's your thoughts before we get to your section? Yeah.
Beautiful transition in the video. Very, very, very catchy chorus. Yeah, it was awesome. Beautiful. I love great animation. So 100% there.
Kudos. Well
Cool,
said,
thank
well
you.
said. So Michael, that's a big smile on your face to last you throughout the day. It's only lunchtime in California. You'll be smiling all day with all the compliments. Michael Wilford, everyone, get him added on Facebook and Instagram. He's a really talented young man. Michael Wilford, till the next time. See you again, brother. Coming up next, Renita Zintel and her band Fate Will Come. Hi, Renita, how are you?
Really, really good. Excellent. Yeah, it's early here. I think it's like 10 a.m. in the morning. Well, early enough.
Renita, could you tell us who are Fate Will Come? What type of music do you do?
Oh my God. Well, I do lots of music. I do blues, I do rock, and actually, I will say, I have found a songwriting partner where I lived, so I'm now working on a metal project. We've done 5 songs already, and we'll be releasing an EP next year.
Can't wait to see it. What's the story behind your song Heavy Heart? Why did you write that song, Heavy Heart?
Heavy Heart, the way I wrote Heavy Heart is the guy that I was working with, he just sends me tracks with just a title. So I went by an experience that I had with a management company in Canada. I was on tour with them, and let's just say they screwed me around. So took my trust, threw it under the bus. With a heavy heart, I have to leave. So that was the inspiration, just a rough situation.
Without further ado, let everyone get acquainted with your music if they're not already. Kirsty and I know how good it is. Fate Will Come, aka Renita Zintel with Heavy Heart. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy. One love.
One little thing you said to me, heavy note, don't know what to believe. Took my trust, put it under the bus. With this heavy heart, I gotta leave. Things are not what they seemed. Heavy heart in pieces, in pieces. Long little lies, all in caught you cheating, I know that took my trust, threw it under the bus. Heavy love in pieces. Things are not what they seemed. Heavy hearts in pieces. Yeah, I'm in pieces. Things are not what they seemed. Heavy hearts in pieces. In pieces. I gotta leave. I gotta leave. I gotta leave.
And Dabby Dozy, as they say in Scotland. Let's start with down the bottom. We'll go Glenn, then Rich, then G.
Sorry, my image is frozen. Not that that matters.
Back,
So,
back, that's it. We can see you, yeah.
yeah, I loved it. It sounded heavy. I wished I could hear it through a proper system. Yeah, it was cool, and I really liked your vocal, even though the subject matter that you alluded to, you didn't sound, you sounded empowered rather than kind of, wallowing in being done wrong by. So I thought that was a cool aspect of your vocal that came through for me. So yeah, well done.
Well said, well said. Rich, and then G, and then Mark Story.
Hey, nice to meet you, fellow Canadian. Are you BC or Alberta or?
I'm in Lethbridge,
Lethbridge.
Alberta. We used to live in BC actually, and we moved to Alberta in 2020, just when the pandemic hit.
Yeah. And for those of us Canadians, it was a good move being away from Vancouver. This place is one of the worst in the world for housing. It's terrible. Everything's so expensive. Anyway, that's an aside. Huge 80s metal feel in there. Are you guys looking to hit the 80s? Because you definitely banged it.
It's definitely, yeah, that's exactly the influence was 80s retro metal.
Yeah, and you did it well. There's a couple things I really like. One, what I love about the 80s music, you guys nailed it, melodic metal. The 80s were into metal. Metal had a lot of melody behind it. It wasn't all just throw the guitars out there and drums. It was about making them an actual song, and you guys did that. Huge kudos to that. And second, as songwriters, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, perfect. The biggest mistake I see so many writers do is they go too long. So many writers, they take 50 seconds to get into the song. You guys are in about 15, 20. That's perfect. Great for radio. I mean, you guys are probably having success on metal radio because that's a very radio friendly song. Well done.
Thank you.
I agree with everything you say there. And Renita, you have to see Rich. He's on in 2 guest time. Rich, world class and absolutely brilliant artist. G, then Mark Story. Yep, G.
Yeah, I love it. I'm into the heavy rock stuff, definitely. It's nice to see bands still playing that and fronting a female vocalist. I loved your voice. It's good to see that. Great job.
Well said.
Thank you.
Good, well said. Mark Story, then Eddie Barber. Mark.
Yeah, I mean that was kick-ass. That was a kick-ass rock song. My favourite vocalist ever is Canadian, Sash Jordan. I just love her voice, and this lady is right up there with her. Very, very good. Well, brilliant delivery. Brilliant. Well done.
Well said, well said. Eddie Barber, then Chris and So. Eddie?
I used to shoot a show called Hard and Heavy. And it definitely hits checks all the boxes on the whole retro metal or metro.
Thank you.
Well said, well said, well said. Chris and So, then Miles.
Yes. So we wanted to say that we really like the rock and metal side of the song. You have a very tough and energetic voice. It's very impressive, actually. And we have a question. Are you alone or do you have a group behind the song?
I live in Canada, and the people that I work with are in the United States. So we met in 2019, and the guitars started sending me just tracks with just a name with music. So I write all the lyrics and I record at home here, and I send the lyrics back, my tracks, and then he mixes everything down. The guitar player, the bass player, and the drummer are in the US, and I'm in Canada. So we've been doing this since 2019. We have an album out now, Fate Will Come, and we have an EP called Heavy Heart, what that song is from. Yeah, we do it all remotely through the internet. Thank
Power
you.
of the internet. Internet's incredible, isn't it? So we've got Miles, Daniel, then David, then we're up to our next guest, Mark Story. So Miles.
Great rocking track. Great voice. I loved it. That's all I've got to say.
Short and sweet's good, man. Well said. Then Daniel, then David Roper. Daniel Tatuli, aka The Fire. What you got to say, brother?
Yeah, so I love it. Not really huge into metal, but yeah, it's definitely got that 80s hard rock kind of vibe. But yeah, like I would like to know more, like what inspired you to write the album Fate Will Come?
Oh, what inspired me? Oh, well, I'll tell you, I've met Matt and the guys 2019, like I said, over the internet. So in 2.5 years, I've written 150 songs with them, and we just took what we figured was the best, threw them together. So I still have probably 20 songs that I have to still work on, plus my new project, the metal project with the guy that I'm working with where I live. So I write every day. I work every day on music. That's the only way to do it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well said. Good question, Daniel. David Roper, then we're on to Mr. Redbeard, aka Mark Story. David.
Hello. Well, I've never really been a great love of heavy metal, but I love the sound of that guitar. Wow, yes, and the nice lead breaks and things like that. What really interested me about this song was the way that the lead vocal, which was beautifully done, but it used like major sevenths on a minor chord, you know, and it really fitted. It was almost emotional in tone as well as in what notes were being featured. So yeah, well done. It was nice, unusual version.
Thank you. I just go by feel. I don't know, when I throw lyrics in, I just take a feel of what sounds like and mess around with it till I decide where I'm going to put it. I know it's kind of strange, but
You're
different is good.
absolutely-
Thank you.
You're absolutely adorable. Great comments, everyone. Renita Santel and our band Fate Will Come. Thanks, Renita. Until the next time, darling.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next is Mark Story. Could you introduce yourself, Mark? What type of musician are you? And could you tell us a little bit or why you wrote the song Catfish Blues? Who is Mark Story? Why did you write Catfish Blues?
Right, well, I didn't write Catfish Blues. Robert Petway.
Sorry. Yeah,
Robert Petway wrote Catfish Blues, and Muddy Waters called it Rolling Stone. But what I do is when I'm writing original stuff, especially when I'm getting to the lyric part of it, I've got the music ready. Sometimes the lyrics don't come, and I have a bit of a writer's block. So I'll take a cover, and then I'll learn the cover, and then I think, what can I add to that cover? So with every version I've heard of Catfish Blues, like the Hendrix one, Gary Clark Jr., I think Rory Gallagher did it, Tony McPhee's done it. I wanted to give it a bit of light and shade. So I took the acoustic side of it, which starts the song, and then I kick it in. So it's just, while I'm floundering trying to write original stuff, I'll take a cover on and keep yourself busy. That's basically the story behind that.
I should have known. I'd actually heard of the song Catfish. I've never done my research too much, so I'm sorry about that. Mark Story and his cover of Catfish, absolutely fantastic musician. And I reckon everybody should do, you know, some covers. Try and do covers for free to let people see you, and then try and get them to buy your, you know, your original music. That's how to get the biggest audience and sell your original stuff, in my opinion. So Mark Story, Redbeard with cover of Catfish Blues. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
Well, I wish I was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea. I'd have all you good-looking women fishing after me, fishing after me, fishing after me, yeah. I went down to my
He's gonna be a rolling stone. A rolling stone. He's gonna be a rolling stone. A rolling stone, well, I believe my time ain't long. I said I believe my time ain't long. I'm gonna catch the first train smoking. Back on the road I'm going. Back on the road I'm going. Back on the road I'm going. Back on the road to ruin. Back on the road to ruin. Back on the road to ruin.
C'est toujours le son des activités.
One and only Mark Story. Mark, absolutely magnificent dude. I'm happy to call you a friend now, man. We talk every day. Legendary stuff, man. Let's start from the bottom and we'll work our way up. Glenn, Michael, then Rich. Glenn?
I've heard the song before. I listened to it when you put it out. It was great then. It's still great now. I love the arrangement. I think it's really kind of clever how you bring in you kick in the full band and then it's gone. Definitely sort of a new twist on a bluesy tune, and a great choice of song. And I love what you said about how if you're feeling like you need a little bit of inspiration, sometimes immersing yourself in a classic song or a song you love is a good way to kickstart that. So yeah, really cool, man.
Thank you very much.
Well said, dude. Definitely win the Beards Awards tonight, Glenn and Mark. Hands down. Absolutely brilliant, aren't they? Michael, then Rich, then G. Michael?
Yeah, I think the arrangement was really clever, and the whole thing's about the contrast working against each other. So I liked in the back half there where you hung out in the heavier section longer and you started getting these counter melodies and harmonies going on, which were really interesting. And then when you drop it back to the acoustic and you got the claps going where it feels bigger than it was before, I thought that was really interesting. And just your guitar playing in general is, the guitar is the center of the song, and it should be because you play it great.
Oh, thanks, man. It means a lot. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm a singer first.
It's brilliant to see all the smiles. I always watch the guests while people compliment them and see the smiles just go ding. Rich, then G, then Kirsty.
Mark, love you, bro. Good to see you. Couple things. Wow, I'm thinking, John Lee Hooker, Big Joe Williams, Lightning Hopkins, Elmore James. You hit that Mississippi Delta vibe thing. But what I really love about your transition, I think I messaged you about this. I absolutely love the way you transition from that to what's a very modern sound. It makes me think of what Clapton did with Cream. When Crossroads came out, he was the first one that said, hey, wait a second, we're going to modernize blues. Well, you've really modernized it, but you've also showed it in its original form, which I absolutely love. That juxtaposition is brilliant, and it absolutely makes it. It totally makes the song. So good job, Mark. Way to go.
Thanks, brother. Cheers. Thanks very much.
Well said, well said. G, and then Kirsty.
Yeah, kind of on the same vein there. I love your voice. It's a song that, reminds me of something back in the 80s blues, but excuse me, it's current. It's something that you could hear today, currently played on the station somewhere. So yeah, you hit it good.
Thanks, bro. Cheers. Appreciate
Be
it.
sure to check Mark out. He's a mega supportive guy as well. I mean, if you become Mark's friend, he'll support everything you do. Wonderful guy, wonderful. Kirsty and then Chris and so.
Hey Mark, how are you doing?
Hi.
Hello, hello. Do you know what, Mark? I would love to see you perform live. I bet your gigs are incredible and quite intimate, I would think, because your music, it's so powerful, but quite simple in a way, because it's you, your guitar, and there's no bells and whistles. It's simple and it gets to the point. It's very special. You've got your own lane, and that's good to have as an artist. You know who you are and what you do, and you're bloody great at everything you do. Yeah, brilliant. You've got a fan in me, Mark. That's what I'm trying to say.
I haven't played a gig in quite some time because the band I was with just weren't like moving forward. So that's why I went completely doing it on my own. And so I've just got to get the courage together now to go on stage on my own without a band. But
You'll smash it, Eddie. You smash it, Mark. Seriously.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any promise.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm muted. Chris and so then, Eddie.
Yes, a fantastic song cover, fantastic cover qui nous a fait voyager.
Yes, so we traveled with the song and we really liked the blues and rock voice. You have a very powerful voice, and the song is a really personal cover. We can feel your identity and all the messages you wanted to put in it.
Merci. Merci.
Eddie and then Renita. Eddie.
Good job, Mark, of mixing the bluesy and heavy metal together. I'm so jealous you can play acoustic and electric. I can't play either or anything. I can just play the radio. That's about it. But good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Renita, Miles. Renita, then Miles.
Yeah,
I love.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Blues is very close to my heart. I've done lots of blues before, and I mean, blues is like rock. You gotta give her shit. That's the only way, and show the emotion, and it's awesome. It's great.
Well,
and don't be afraid to play by yourself, because it sounds awesome. Don't be afraid to go on stage by yourself, because it's beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
I think he's only kidding you on that. Mark's story's not shy, man. As I look at him,
yeah,
no way.
Mark's story's very shy.
Yeah, well, you don't look it. You don't look it. You look like you're fearless, bro, with that red beard. I love it. I love it. Miles, Daniel, then David. Then we're on to our next guest, Rich Chambers. Miles.
I love everything Mark does. I've heard this song before and loved it right away. So the video is very cool too. Hey, Mark.
Thank you, brother.
Well said,
Thank
well
you.
said. And you know something? Miles is the talent scout who brought the band Pilot the Moon and Mark. He says, you need to see my friends here. I brought them on the show and they've joined the family and stuff. So Miles, working hard over there in California for the Top Talent family. Well done, man. Thank you. Well said. Daniel, then David, then we're on to Rich. So Daniel DeFire.
Yeah, I'm honestly a big fan of blues, and that's honestly one of my roots as a guitar player as well. I love the lick that you put in, very, very tasteful, and where you kind of transition between your isolated guitar and then kind of coming back in or kind of going out with like a more instrumental. So yeah, no, good job. I really like it.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well said, dude. Redave, Dave Roper, aka Redave. Yeah, what's your thoughts?
Yes, Mark, I felt really jealous in a way of your lovely voice. I've always wanted to have a gravel in my voice. Do you understand? I don't mean that as a nasty comment. That's a great comment. The gravel in your voice really added to the movement, and I loved the contrast between the light and the heavy. Wow, what a contrast. I loved it. Well done.
Thank you. What I did was I put a bit of distortion on the verses, which gives you, I mean, I've got a gravelly voice anyway, but it just gave me that little bit of edge. So yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well said, David. And Mark, thanks for being a magnificent guest, dude. Love you to bits, man. Let's see you during the week for another show. Mark, story Glenn, did you not get a comment in this time? Sorry, brother. Glenn?
I did, but I just have to ask, because we're all friends here, I have to ask Mark. I finally figured it out, I think. Is that an Out of the Silent Planet t-shirt you're wearing?
King's X?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them. One of my favorite bands.
Is that what's hiding under that beard there, or is that a...
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Okay. Yeah. Great
Me too,
album.
brother. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely not losing your eyesight, are you, Glenn? That's Hawkeye level. Been able to see that. Well done. Mark, story, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Can't wait to see what's next with Mark. Coming up next is Rich Chambers. Rich, could you introduce yourself? And then I'm going to ask you, without a doubt, Rich's video is going to win video of the night for this generation. Wait till you see it. It makes you smile from ear to ear. It's absolutely brilliant. Who is Rich Chambers? And
Thanks,
what is the
Sparky.
story behind You're a Nice Guy, But your song? What's the story behind that?
Firstly, Mark, I got a comment, Mark. Using distortion on your voice is brilliant. It's a great production move. Lots of people are afraid to do it, but sometimes a little bit of desaturation on your voice is what it needs. It's perfect. Anyway, that's a bit of a side. Rich Chambers, I always try and say, people ask me what kind of style I do. I've sort of reverted back to rock and roll, because if you're really trying to find me, I'm pop/rock/country/blues. And somebody will say, no, you must fit in there one. No, I'm a little bit of every bit of it. And you'll see what I mean when you listen to my stuff. It's sort of, it can fit in, and I've actually got radio airplay on country stations, rock stations, pop stations, because it fits a little bit of everything. For me, and it comes from my influences. As a kid growing up, my mom was a big top 40 Beatles fan. Dad loved Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and then I got into jazz myself and blues. All the blues artists love all those people. So anyway, that's sort of where I come from. And this song in particular was this is a funny story. Often people are saying, Rich, this shows that funny side of you. And this was going back about 10 years when I was playing in a band, and it was a Sunday afternoon jam we had, and the drummer had been on a date the night before. It's always the poor drummer. And we asked him, so how'd your date go? And he said, well, it was going really well. He said, we went out, had a great meal, and we went for a walk afterwards. And I was driving her home. I think, good night kiss or something, and went to drop her off. And she said to me, Jeff, you're a really nice guy, but, and then we all start laughing. You guys are laughing because we've all been there. How many times have you heard that? I really like you, but, we're just not ready. I'm not ready. All the excuses go up, and we're laughing away. In the meantime, I'm playing the riff that you hear throughout the song. As all guitarists do, you guys can relate. I'm playing and talking at the same time. And somebody said, hey, that's kind of cool, Rich. What are you doing? And I said, you're a nice guy, but, and I hit the chord. And another guitar player gets in, he starts jamming the same chord. Then the drummer starts laughing. He starts playing a beat. Our bass player starts rapping lyrics over top of it. Within 30 minutes, we had this song written. So it's a joint effort. I'm 1/4 of it. But it absolutely, I love this song because it's so much fun. And we tried to make the video tongue in cheek and lots of fun. Trying to put a spin on that terrible, oh God, I've just been dumped, and trying to make it a fun thing. So I hope you guys like it.
Oh, I know they'll love it, dude. Rich Chambers with You're a Nice Guy, But. Enjoy this. And if it lags, I'm sorry, check it out on YouTube yourself. You must see this video. It's fantastic. Love, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Dumped again, my heart ripped apart like a condom wrapper on grad night. I remember it like it was yesterday. Kathy and I were gonna last forever. I loved her, she loved me, nothing could have been better. But pretty quick the music stopped and I was left without a chair. I thought she said she'd never leave me. I thought she said she'd always love me. I remember going over to her house crying, baby, I love you, please don't leave me. But she didn't care. She just looked at me and said, you're a nice guy, but it's not you, it's me. You're a nice guy, but you can do better than me. You're a nice guy, but I'm just a little confused. You're a nice guy, but I want to date other people. You're a nice guy, but you're just a friend. I learned 2 things about breaking up that weekend. The first, tequila kills the pain. The second, country songs are written by guys like me. But I moved on, I grew up, I met Melissa. She came, she went, she said, "You're a nice guy, but it's not you, it's me. You're a nice guy, but you can do better than me. You're a nice guy, but I'm just a little confused. You're a nice guy, but I want to date other people. You're a nice guy, but you're just a friend." Weeks ago, I met Shelly at the local meat market. She didn't have much to sell, but I was a desperate buyer. A couple weeks after meeting Shelly, I met Danielle. Shelly was nice, but Danielle was everything I've always wanted in a girl. Soft, sweet, pretty, with legs that could crush my head like a grape. Now, I didn't know what to do with Shelly. Me and her just wanted different things. She wanted me, I wanted Danielle. I didn't want to hurt her, so I went with what works. You're a nice girl, but it's not you, it's me, baby. You're a nice girl, but you can do so much better than me. You're a nice girl, but I'm just a little confused. You're a nice girl, but I want to date other people. You're a nice girl, but you're just a friend. You're a nice girl, but I didn't want to hurt you. Of your needs. You tried to make it work. You just need to find yourself. We're much better friends than lovers. I just need a break from us. We've grown apart. It was never even meant to be. You're just a friend. Zone. We've all been there too many times.
Oh, it's amazing how you reversed it there, dude. That's brilliant, man. You're a nice girl, but let's start with well, Glenn, you're up next. You can go last here. We'll go Michael G. Mark Story.
Yeah, I'm very impressed, and I'm really keen to hear what Eddie has to say about the video, because the video is incredible and it's hilarious. It feels like you're watching one of those like, I don't know, American Pie rom-coms from the 2000s or something, you know, where it's not at a place to be lying in bed and then you pick up your guitar and break up with somebody. Yeah, it's so clever and so fun.
Thanks, Michael. There was many bust your gut moments in filming that video where we literally lost it, keeled over, and Hyle started laughing. It was a lot of fun to do.
I imagine the whole process of planning out the video was just like the best time.
Well, there's one scene at the end where you saw where the ball hits me in the head. We had to freeze it because that was not scripted. When the ball hit me, I lost it. The camera guy lost it. Everybody literally fell over laughing so hard because that was not scripted. It kind of hurt, but it was pretty funny.
It was great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well said. Before you, G, can Kirsty say she needs to run to the shop? So Kirsty, then G, then Mark. Story. Kirsty?
Hey, hi, Richard. Rich, oh my goodness, I absolutely love that song. It stays in my mind all the time, and the video just seriously complements it. So yeah, it's one of my favorites, Rich. It's so catchy, and I thought there must be like a little story behind it. So yeah, so it totally makes sense. It's brilliant, Rich. I absolutely love it. Totally love it.
Autobiographical, I'm sad to say, but we've all lived it. I think that's why a lot of people say it relates to them, because we've all been there on both sides of the equation.
Yeah, brilliant. Honestly, it's not just your talent, it's your character as well. It makes you stand out, Richard.
Thank you.
You're brilliant. G, then Mark Story, then David Roper. I'm going to work a weird way this time. G, Mark.
Yeah, the song, and the video. I don't think you can get much more funner than that. It was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to listen to, and I bet if at gigs that song would just tear the place up. Everyone would just have a good time.
It
Nice
was
job.
always our most popular
Hello, I'm
original.
not sure when
Yeah.
this is going to end, but I haven't been featured yet. So
Oh, it's okay, David. You don't. Just mute. Yeah, I'll cover you, David. It's okay. Mark's story, and then yeah, we'll go with David Roper after Mark.
Yeah, that Rich, Mr. Chambers. I mean, we speak a lot on Facebook, don't we? And I'm a big fan. You know, I'm a big fan. That is
Thanks, Mark.
Outstanding, brother. Great video. I mean, it's fun. You know, it was fun. You can't be in a bad mood listening to that song. It's rock and roll. It's got balls. It's got humor. Video, well, I was cracking up, seriously. I was crying, and because we've all been there.
Yeah.
I think I might still be there. I'm not sure. Well done, brother.
It's ongoing, right, Mark? I mean, that's just what life is. Sometimes you
when
gotta have fun.
When we get famous, there's no such thing as the friend zone.
Yeah.
Rich Chambers,
Oh,
your
that
rock
was
and roll reimagined.
That's my tagline, Sparky. Yes.
You know what it is? I
that's the
thought I'd get
tagline.
that in there, you know. Right, so David Roper, we heard your conversation to your wife, by the way, but it's okay. You were clean enough.
Sorry
It was
about
fine. David, then Daniel. David, then Daniel.
well, I absolutely loved the video. How many women did you ask to take part in it? My God. But then the lyrics as well, built on a nice steady 12 bar. And I loved the way that the lyrics were very unusual. So the whole context was original, very original. Loved it.
Thanks, David. Well, it's funny you say about the three main women were old good friends of mine, but the other people that popped up saying nice guy but were people we just asked in the park. Because of course what we were doing was drawing a bit of a crowd. So everybody said, do you want to be in a video? Most people, yeah, film me, please. So we just pulled random strangers and they said nice guy button to the camera for us, which added more fun to the event. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Well said, well said. David, you're up in 3 slots, by the way, just so you know for your own mind. Daniel, then Miles.
Yeah, I love it. Very, very comedic, but also very, very classic. In like your progression as well. A lot of blues, kind of got like a blues kind of pop feel. But yeah, I love it.
Thanks, Daniel.
My solo too.
Thank you.
Well
Like
said,
David
well
said, I stuck to a pretty basic 12 bar route. I mean, when you had all that speaking going on top, we had to keep the structure simple so that the speaking, all the talking didn't get lost.
Well said, well said. So Miles, then Renita.
Upbeat breakup song. I love it. Video, very cool. Made me laugh. Excellent.
Thanks, Miles.
So Renita, then we've got the videographer or videographers to have an opinion. I can't wait to hear his. So Renita, what's your
Very
thoughts?
cute. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, it's very, very, very cute video, and it's a good twist where it goes from the woman to the man saying, well, screw you. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was awesome. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
Well said, well said. Mr. Eddie, what's your thoughts here, brother? You must have been laughing, smiling about that. Genius, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, having not been on anything that resembles a real date since the whole separation divorce fiasco about 10 years ago, it seems like it could be my new theme song. Good song, catchy, good video. It was enjoyable. Good job, Rick.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Chris and so, then our next guest, Glenn with the Crash World. Chris and so in France.
We really liked the rock and roll side, and it was really a funny clip about breakups, and it's a bit sad, but you really make the sadness a real force.
Yeah.
And yes, it's really funny, and congrats.
Yes.
Thank you.
Super.
Well said, well said. Finally, Glenn, for this section, what's your thoughts there, brother? And your fellow Canadian, lots of tonight.
Yeah, I loved it too, Rich. It's
Thank you.
I was reminded because of you know, we're watching videos here. I was reminded of sometimes I say to friends that don't play music, I'll say, you know, there's a time when there's just the song. There's no cover, there's no artwork, there's no video. It's just the song and it's all in your head. And it's a huge process to get it from your head and your team onto you know, tape or digital, or and then making the video. You guys made the video look so effortless, but man, that looked like a lot of planning and a lot of work. So it paid off so well. And it definitely for me, excuse me, had that vibe of the right song for the right artist. You know, it just you just nailed it. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if you got some calls from some you know, for acting gigs, because you made some great faces there. So yeah, fantastic.
Thank you, Glenn. I've actually got a few. I've surprised some of the reviewers actually said that I delivered it so well and tongue in cheek, and I never thought of myself as an actor, but thank you. I'll take that compliment.
Yeah.
You've been natural, Rich. Rich Chambers, everybody. One love.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Next time, dude. So at this point, I'm going to stop the recording and start it again, because we're more than happy through. There's 6 guests, there's an extra 3, there's 13 tonight. So I'm going to stop the Facebook just so that it all actually, you know, I won't get it all in the one. So I'll stop this recording